Son of David, have mercy on us. When he was come into the house, the blind man came to him. And Jesus saith unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? And they said to him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith, be it unto you. And their eyes were opened. And God has really spoken this verse to me. We're saved and we're healed by faith. We know that we're saved by faith, but if any of you tonight are broken or in sin and you can't get out of it, if you're just depressed, if you want to be baptized with the Holy Spirit, we should come to God by faith. He said, Do you believe that I can do this? And because they believed, he said, because of your faith, it will be unto you. So just ask God, if you don't have the faith, just ask him to give us the faith tonight. Believe him to do great things. Believe him to pour out his Spirit because he wants to. All I have to do is believe. Lord God, just come to you tonight. God, we just ask you. Lord, would you strengthen our faith in you tonight, God? That you can do above all that we think or ask. That you come, Holy Spirit, and move on us. Deliver us from blindness. God, set us free from sin. Be honored tonight. God, give us that faith. In Jesus' name.
what God has done in their heart. My heart has just been ready to worship again. Just hearing the testimonies of God, what God has done in people, how God saves and delivers, forgives and renews and gives salvation. It's just a wonderful thing. So this young man has been a friend to me. I've known him since 2008. When I mentioned you were, what, 12? I'm getting old. It's been a crazy experience. Just seeing him, first time I saw him, I think he was in the lobby of the dorms wearing shorts, basketball shorts, and a white beater shirt, carrying a guitar. And he just, I think, how many chords did you know at that time? 4 chords. And now the Lord's just been using him. The Lord's taught him so many things. He's a blessing to me. He's a blessing to our church. I just wanted to share his testimony with you tonight, what God has done in his life. And I ask you to open your heart to what the Lord has done in his life, because it's a witness. That's why we have testimonies. Not to say, oh, look at me, look who I am, or look what impressive things have happened in my life, but look how God has shown himself to be God in my life. Amen? Look at the kind of saving God that we have. Amen? Amen. So please make him welcome. Open your heart to him. Amen?
That's very actually asked me to share my testimony. I was kind of shocked because I was like, well, why don't you guys want the older men, like to give a testimony because they've been through so much more. But I do believe that the Lord has given me something to say to people to encourage them tonight. And I'm just going to start with a quick background. I'm not necessarily going to give my testimony of salvation, but the past year, what God has brought me through while being here. And but I was raised in a Christian home all my life. My parents in the front row, wonderful, wonderful Christian parents. They did everything they could to make sure that us kids, we knew the Lord, that we knew what prayer was, knew the Word of God was, knew how important it was, and grew up in a very Christian home. Always everything being directed towards God, everything centered around God. And so I've always, had this knowledge of who God was and really understanding who He was. And honestly, as a child, I always wanted to serve God. Just wanted to serve Him with all my heart, and I wanted Him to be the center. I wanted to be glorified. And I was saved at 5, that I can remember. And I was baptized in the Holy Spirit when I was 10 years old, in the month of December. And I'll never forget that moment. And well, anyways, I'm gonna kind of skip that and get into what I believe the Lord wants me to share. And we moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana when I was 12 years old, 2008, and that's when I really started to understand who God was. I got to a place in my life of surrendering to God, of understanding what the flesh was and what the spirit was, and the battle between the flesh and the spirit, always warring, always feeling like, man, Lord, I'm failing here, and then, but your grace is sufficient, and the Lord began to bring me through things and show me things, and I grew in music. The Lord started blessing me, and about 2 months before we moved to Broad Ridge, the Lord called our family out here. I got to a place in my life where I was so hungry for God. I didn't care about anything else. I didn't want anything else in my life. All I remember is I would sit there and pray. It was during the summer, all day, just pray and read the Word and just soaking all I could of the Lord, playing Christian music, always talking about God, trying to minister to anybody and everybody. And when we moved out here, I was just on fire for the Lord. Like, God was just burning in my heart all the time. When I came here, we were doing outreaches. I wanted to be a part of the outreaches. I wanted to be a part of Men's Bible studies on Mondays. On Tuesdays, I wanted to go to Karen Hill, help Pastor Brandon with Bible study there. On Thursdays, we had functions and Fridays part of youth. Saturdays, whatever they're doing, I wanted to do outreach. Sundays part of church. I just wanted to do anything that involved with the church and with the Lord and what God wanted to do. I had this sincere passion and burning in my heart for God, just nothing else. And as I began to grow in the Lord began to use me here, and He began to reveal Himself to me on like never before. It was amazing. Every day just walking in the Spirit, like just feeling like I was walking with God. He was telling me what to do. Everywhere I would go, He'd be like, God, you have me here for a purpose. There's a reason why I'm going to get my haircut here. There's a reason why you told me I'm going to Walmart here today. There's a reason why I'm walking down this road today. There's always a reason for something. I always felt it, and the Lord always impressed that upon my heart. And I just got to a place I was so close to God and just so on fire, and I just wanted God and nothing but Him. And as I was a senior when I started here, they opened up a school, New Beacon Christian Academy, and I started school here as a senior. I was the only male senior. I was team captain of the basketball team. I was part of the youth group, part of the worship team, part part of the Bible said. So everything that had to do with the church here, I was involved in some form or some fashion. Yeah, and I was just, there's a lot of young men here, the Lord was having me pour into their lives, minister to them, explain them the Word of God, and as time began to progress, school started, and I started focusing on my school, sports started, I was focused on sports, and I kind of, I wasn't seeking the Lord as much, I wasn't in the Word as much, and I got to this place where I felt like I could actually kind of let my guard down, because I was so, I was like, I'm so close to God, there's no way that I'm going to fall, there's just absolutely no way that anything bad's going to go wrong. God's got me, the people in the church, I love them, they love me, my parents, my family, everyone's there. I was like, there's no way I can be distracted. God's going to be the main thing, but I have to focus on school and stuff, and so I can kind of retract a little. And that was my first mistake, is letting my guard down. And as time began to progress, I went from there were situations in my life, I went from always asking, always looking to the Lord, and being like, God, you're allowing this situation to happen for a reason, to being, God, why is this happening? Or, this shouldn't be happening, why is this happening in my life? And I started to doubt God, and I started finding myself in a place of always doubting and always frustrated and confused. And I began to let the things, people in the world, that relationships that I shouldn't allow, to come in, and I began to allow people to start to influence me the wrong way and to dictate my life. I wasn't no longer allowing God to be the center of my life, but I was allowing people and things to become the center of my life. And the world began to start wrapping itself around me and taking me in, and I was praying with the world. I was like, I got this, I'm fine. I'm close to God. I'm here in church all the time. No matter, the school, our curriculum is about God. Everything had to do with God, still that I saw around me, but I was still here and there playing with the world, talking to this person, hanging out with this person, doing things I should have been doing, in and out of church, and just out, and I was like, God's grace is sufficient, God's mercy is good, I'll be fine. And I got to a place of just being a young man who just loved God and sincere and just wanting more of Him, not caring what people thought about me in church, or what people thought of me on the streets, what my old friends would think about me. I didn't care nothing, to being a young man who just got to this place of brokenness and misery, always just feeling like there was no one there for me. I just felt alone, just feeling depressed, oppressed all the time, and always having these thoughts in the back of my head, like, what's going to go wrong, guys? This has gone wrong. And all of a sudden things started to pile on top, like one situation would happen, another situation, and another thing would occur, and it was becoming so overbearing. And I got to this place where I just didn't want to serve God. Completely opposed to the Word of God. I didn't want nothing to do with God, because I was like, God, I said, if you're real, if you really love me, you wouldn't allow these things to happen to me. In the first place, I opened up the doors, but of course, when we go through stuff, we always want to blame God. It's the first thing we want to do. And I began to blame the Lord for a lot of things, and I was like, it's your fault, I was doing fine, and then, this happened, and you allowed it to happen, you should have stopped it. And I just got to a place I didn't want to serve God. I avoided my family. Everyone, they can testify that. The church, people in the church. I'd come to church, sit in the back row. Church was over, go home, go work out, do something, go play basketball, anything. I would do anything to stay at church, anything to get away from prayer, anything to stay out of my house, because there was conviction everywhere I went. No matter where I turned, the Lord was there saying, come back to me, I'm here. You know what you're called to do, you can't run from me. And I was in misery, because I knew my parents were praying for me. I knew the pastor in the church was praying for me. I knew my sister, people in the church were praying for me all the time. I just couldn't get away. And it just bothered me. It would make me mad and frustrated. And I would do everything I could to drown it out, anything possible. And I began to let situations in my life just really pile on top, and just things were getting worse and worse. And I began to look to everything but God for answer. I eventually started drinking, I started getting high, I started looking to girls, this and there, going around, trying to find anything and everything that would bring pleasure to myself, and try to find everything that would just stop the conviction in my life, because there's constant conviction all the time, no matter what I would do. And anything, like we talk about conviction, just walking or driving with somebody and there's a cross down the road as a church, or I see a person, with the Bible, and I'm just like, man, I can't run from this. Like, what? And I just wanted to leave everything, and start over, do my own thing, and I couldn't run from it. And I got to this place of just knowing, like, I knew in my heart, I was like, God, I said, I know you're the answer to all my problems. I know you're the answer to me being set free from this misery, from the doubt, from the brokenness, from the depression, from anything and all these things that are piling on top. And I know you're the answer to set me free. And I was so persistent in my ways. I just said, I want to find a different way. I want to be able to do it with my own strength. I want to be able to, and I couldn't. I failed and fail and fall and fall. And I would never want to heed to the Lord. I would never want to come back to be like, push him away. No, I got this. I'm going to get back up. And it just got so bad for me. I just, day after day, I couldn't sleep at night. Just being miserable, feeling just the worst feeling. I can't really describe it. Just always feeling just this pain inside me and hurt all the time, and always wondering why things are going wrong in my life, and just really getting to a place I hated God. Hated God. In a matter of 6 months, I went from a person who was so on fire for God to hating the Lord. Just because you love God, and just because you serve Him and you know Him all your life, doesn't mean that you can't fall away, because God is no respecter of persons. Anything can happen to any person when you let your guard down. And I got to a place of just like that, just hesitant, didn't want anything to do with God, nothing. And as things began to get worse, they just got worse and worse, and I would cry, and then I'd be like, why are you crying? You need to cry about this is stupid. You know, just keep doing what you're doing. Do your own life. You're 18, you're about to 19, you get your own job, you can go here, you can start doing all these different things, and you can start, doing things for yourself, and you can run from all this. And I was trying to run from all my problems, just running and trying to find different things, and everything would feel good for a while, and then the feeling would fade away, and everything would come right back to me, just hit me all at one time, and I would sit there and just in misery. And I got to a place where the Lord would start convicting me, and I would start thinking, I'm like, well, maybe God, maybe I should come back to you. And then, something would happen, and I'd be like, no, it's not the way. There's no, I'm not coming back to him. And, Pastor Brandon pouring into me, my family, my parents trying to pour into me, my sisters, anybody, people who love me, just trying to pour into me, and push them away, and be like, I don't want them wanting to do with your God. And I remember a point where it was in this church that I was just under such conviction, under such conviction of everything that was going on, and I didn't want to feel like this anymore. I was like, God, I said, I can't do it anymore. I said, if I go into 6 months, I said, I can't live in the 6 months like this. And I thought, I'd rather end everything than go through 6 months of feeling like this. And I remember they gave me all this going, and I came to this altar right here, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried for maybe 2 hours. I don't even remember. I was just crying so much. And I remember just at that point, everything, like I was just asking, I was telling God, I need you. God, I can't do this anymore, Lord. I give everything over. And all these problems, everything that's going on in my life, you're still God, and you know why it's happening. You're doing this for a reason. You're doing this because you're trying to bring me through the fire. You're trying to make me bring me out pure as gold. And I remember just at that altar, I began just to feel like the weight of the world was just off my shoulders when I got up, and I just couldn't believe, I was like, God did it. In a matter of a second, a matter of a whole year, I was sitting there trying to find things and do different things that felt right and that were good for me. And in a matter of just praying and seeking, asking the Lord to help me and giving it to Him and surrendering, it was gone. Everything, the misery, the pain, and all the depression, everything I can think of, God had just set me free just at one moment. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, God, I said you did what I thought is impossible to do. And in my own strength, it was impossible. I couldn't do it. I'm going to tell you right now, I couldn't do it, church. God brought me through. It was His grace. It was His mercy. It was His love. I did all for everything He's done in my life, because I know God is good. I know God is still on the throne. He's still reigning. And I know He still has a purpose in my life. I don't know what it is. I just know that the Lord wants me. He wants to use me to minister to in any different way. And I've come to a place I just want God. I surrender. I just want the Lord to use me. I want to surrender my life, my will, everything, my dreams and hopes, and I put it all in Him. And that's a place we need to get to, church. We need to get to a place of where we surrender everything and we give it to God. Because without Him, if He's not the center of our lives, then I promise you, you're going to end up just like me at that place where you're living a life of misery, and you're still supposed to be saved, but you're so broken down, you don't understand why. But it's because the Lord is no longer the center of your life. Don't open up doors that don't need to be open. Don't let things in that don't need to be let in. The Bible says to be vigilant and sober, because you have the enemy He's come to devour you. He's coming to kill you. That's what he wants to do. And it can happen to any of us. It can happen to me again. It can happen to my parents. It can happen to Pastor Brennan. It can happen to Pastor Lee. It can happen to anybody in this church. But God is good. And I look back and I'm like, Lord, I don't know how I'm here. I don't understand. But like I said, all I know is God is good. God's grace is sufficient, and that's one thing I learned over the past year is God's grace. How amazing God's grace is. I can't even begin to explain to you how much grace the Lord has shown me in my life. The Lord has given me so much grace and so much mercy, and I praise Him and I give Him all the glory for that.
Amen. I can say probably the hardest thing that I've had to learn as a Christian